Good morning, ma'am.
Let's start after a minute. Open your cam, everybody. Okay, it's already 10:10. Nakahabol si Elizabeth, Melody. Kami tayo ngayon, ha? Open nyo yung cam nyo, mag-ano muna tayo. Screenshot kasi sa klase ko kanina kapag after ng klase mag-screenshot. Lagi ko nakakalimutan. Kumain na kayong lahat?
Yes po, ma'am.
Kasi mag-overtime. Mag-overtime kasi tayo ngayon. Hanggang 6 p.m. Sure. Open nyo na yung cam nyo. Start na tayo. And picture muna. Mary Rose, open your cam. Okay, picture tayo. Mike Jordan, ay tapat mo yung mukha mo sa sa camera. Yan, para kita ang pogi mukha. Okay, 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay, Waki. 1, 2, 3. Ayun, magna-natural lang sana ako kasi nakawaki na naturally. Okay, kumusta ang weekend nyo?
Okay lang, ma'am.
Okay lang, wala naman bang problema? Sino mga heartbroken? Walang love life, ano? Talaga. Okay, start na tayo. Topic natin today is the global. The global divides the North and the South. Last time, ay, pumapasok si Yuka. And last time, or last week, nagbigay ako ng learning material about contemporary global governance, right? Hindi na tayo mag-a-accept. After going through this learning or discussion, I am expecting that all of you can identify the rules and functions of the United Nations or UN. Describe the challenges of global governance in the 21st century. Explain the relevance of the nation states in the midst of globalization. And explain the term Global South. And lastly, differentiate the Global South from the Third World. Typographical error. Yung world natin na baliktad yung ating mga letters. just have a short recap about the discussion last week. Who wants to recite? Ano man na-discuss natin? Summarization lang. Raise your hand. Or kahit yung ilan lang na nandito. Okay, Mon Argel.
Last week, ma'am, we talk about the difference between nation, the state, and nation-state, different international government organization, global interstate system, and others.
Okay, thank you, Mon Argel. How about the others? Ano yung mga naalala nyo? Walang nakakaalala? Okay, what do we mean by state? John Mark Castillo. Dapat prepared kayo all the time, okay? Meron tayong participation, part ng grading system natin. Okay, John Mark Castillo. What do we mean by state?
Ma'am, nakalimutan ko po.
Nakalimutan ni John Mark. Who wants to help him? How about Princess Pansuy?
Ma'am, yung naalala ko po sa state is, isa po siyang political organization, centralized with government po. Yun naalala ko.
Okay, very good. That's the exact definition. How about nation? Jamaica. Jamaica Rose the tour.
Naalala ko po, ma'am, nation is a group of state that has one belief or one goal po.
Okay, very good. Okay, group of states that or atais that hold groups. It could be religious, language, nagko-connect sa kanila. How about nation states? Maureen. Maureen Ripalda.
Ang nation state po ay isang political community na nag-e-execute ng peace sa bawat isa po.
Okay,
Kasapi ng lipunan.
very good, Maureen. And we also discussed the effects of globalization on nation states. Kindly name one, Elizabeth Mendez.
Ma'am, wala po akong maalala.
Okay,
Sorry
kindly.
po.
Okay, it's okay. Kindly help her, Crystal Charity. Crystal, kindly unmute your microphone. Crystal, are you with us? Okay. Go, Crystal, unmute your microphone. How about Mark Jordan Ramos? Bigay ka lang ng isa.
Globalization is seen to impose a forced choice upon nation states.
Okay, very good. Magbigay pa ng isa. Jambi Joyce.
Establishment of economic and political integrations.
That is number 2. Good. Number 3. Krisha May Castro.
Establishment of international laws and principles.
Thank you. Number 4. Arlene Ragodos. Arlene? Who wants to help her? Mary Rose.
Ma'am, rise of transnational activism po, ma'am.
And lastly, Joy Ann Cabangon.
Creation of new communication network po.
Okay, those are the effects of globalization and on nation states. We also discussed the IGO or intergovernmental organizations. We have ASEAN, diba? EU, WTO, and we discussed internationalism, globalism, global interstate system. What do we mean by internationalism? Si tawag tayo ng iba. John Mark. What do we mean by internationalism? John Mark? Okay, si Mary Rose ulit.
Ma'am, internationalism is a political principle po na nag-advocate po ng mga sa greater political economic cooperation po among states and nations po.
Okay,
Parang nag-create po sila ng ng connectivity po between nations and states po.
Okay, connectivity or interdependent collaboration between nation states. Very good. How about Mon Argel? What do we mean by globalism? Kung kanina yung internationalism is a theory, ano naman yung globalism?
Globalism is an attitude
Okay,
wherein it describes the connections between nation states.
okay, exactly. Thank you. And lastly, global interstate system. Crystal, Charity. Crystal, always open your cam ha para alam ko kung anong ginagawa nyo and yung virtual attendance din natin ito. Crystal? Okay, Maureen. Global interstate system.
Global interstate system is a facet of contemporary political globalization that seeks to form collaboration among nation states.
Okay, that is through the establishment of IGOs like ASEAN. Diba? Now, ito na tayo. May nag-chat si... nasa bayan daw si Crystal, kumukuha ng permit. Okay, so thank you, Crystal. Okay, may discuss muna natin yung binigay nating learning material last week, contemporary global governance. What do we mean by global governance? Kindly read. Elizabeth.
Today, global governance makes world affairs systematic, secured, and formulatic. Weiss and Thakur 2014 described global governance as the totality of norms, laws, policies, and bodies that define, comprise, and facilitate transnational relations between citizens, states, cultures, intergovernmental, and non-governmental organizations.
Thank you, Elizabeth. In short, when we say global governance, it is a rule-based in order to put everything in order. Kasi to make systematic, secured, and formulate yung ating nation states. That is the purpose of global governance. Now we have 6 organs: the General Assembly, the Security Council, Economic and Social Council, the Trusteeship Council, the International Court of Justice, and Secretariat. Because we all know, yun yung 6 organs ng UN, okay? Yung United States. Kasi yung UN or the United States, ito yung may pinakamaraming number of members na mga country. Kung hindi ako nagkakamali, 195 ang total number of members niya. Meron tayong 6. Unahin natin General Assembly. General Assembly, this is the central deliberative and the only organ where all member states have equal representation in discussion and consideration and also policy making. Dito sa organ na to, dito pinag-uusapan ng mga different members ng UN yung mga sa paggawa ng policy, and nagdi-discuss sila ng mga different aspect ng mga purposes nila about the economy and different matters. Number 2, Security Council. From the word itself, it preserve peace and security. Dito naman yon nagfo-fall, the Security Council. Number 3, the Economic and Social Council. This is the main organ for cooperation. Policy review. Dito nire-review lahat. Policy dialogue and advice on social, economic, and environmental issues. Number 4, Trusteeship Council. Itong organ naman ito, yung task niya is to administer international oversight for 11 trust territories and to make sure that adequate procedures are taken for independence and self-government. Number 5, International Court of Justice. Ito naman yung UN's prime judicial organ. Diba? Dito parang nililitis kung pinag-uusapan yung mga laws. And lastly, Secretariat. This is the organ tasked to execute the daily activities as assigned by the 5 other organs. Yung 5, yung General Assembly, Security Council, Economic and Social Council, Trusteeship Council, and International Court of Justice. Now, what do we mean by United Nations? Nabanggit natin kanina yung 6 organs, pero let us discuss more about UN or in United Nations. Okay, it was established after Second World War with one central mission. Ang mission niya is to maintain international peace and security. Okay? In 1948, the UN was responsible for bringing human rights into the realm of international law through the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Now, the UN is also a space for its members to manifest their perspective through its core organs and committees, yung nabanggit na 6 organs kanina. This organization has become an instrument for governments to identify spaces of agreement and resolve problems collectively by enabling the exchange of opinions between and among its members and by hosting consultations. Dito na pumapasok yung General Assembly, wherein ito yung organ para marinig yung mga saloobin ng iba't ibang member countries. Aside from maintaining international peace and security and protecting human rights, the UN also carries the functions of delivering humanitarian aid, promoting sustainable development, and also upholding international law. Okay, the organization also utilizes good offices. May mga offices din sila, diplomacy and mediation, balance. It does peacekeeping processes in countries with domestic conflicts. Kasi hindi natin may iwasan yon. Kahit nga dito sa atin, di ba? There are lots of problems and conflicts. And peace building tasks in countries freed from conflicts, lessening the risk of reversing into conflict and setting the groundwork of sustainable peace and also the development. It agrees on the global battle against terrorism and works for the removal of nuclear weapons. Parang inaano niya lang, pinofocus niya. Kasi yung main mission niya is to maintain international peace and security. Hanggat maaari, no nuclear weapons and other instrument of mass destruction. Okay? All of these are executed to maintain international peace and security. In order to protect human rights, UN scrutinizes situation and issues reported to them and oversees the exercise of international human rights agreements. So meron tayong mga goals. Ito yung tinatawag na sustainable development goals. We have 17 na dati tinatawag itong Millennium Development Goals. It is to promote sustainable development. Pero noong 2015, napalitan ito ng SDG or Sustainable Development Goals. Yung napalitan yung pangalan. This is the collection of 17 global goals that cover social, economic issues like poverty, yung hunger, health, education, kasama yung global warming, gender equality, water sanitation, energy urbanization, environment, and social justice. Ito ngayon, number 1, no poverty. 2, zero hunger. Number 3, good health and well-being. Quality education, gender equality, clean water and sanitation, affordable and clean energy, a decent work, and economic growth. Kasi nga hindi lang siya nagpo-focus sa peace making, pero meron ding social and economic development. Industry and innovation and infrastructure, reduce inequalities, sustainable cities and communities, responsible consumption and production, climate action, life below water, o sa environment din, life on land, peace, justice, and strong institutions. And lastly, partnership for the goals. Kaya nga naitayo yung UN or United Nations. Okay, in order for international law to be upheld, okay, UN settles legal, 10 minutes na lang. Kapag nag-off ito, namatay, pasok ulit kayo ha. Okay, the UN settles legal disputes referred to it by member states. It also accords advisory opinions on questions that are legal nature submitted by legitimate UN organs and particular agencies. Now dito, mapapag-usapan natin yung different problems na nai-encounter din ng UN. Ways in TACOR in 2014 in the article entitled The United Nations Meets the 21st Century Confronting Challenges of Global Governance, identify the challenges confronting the UN based on knowledge, norms, policy, institutions, and compliance. Now, kindly read number 1. Tawag tayo. Mon Arjan.
In terms of knowledge, the UN is underappreciated regarding how its convening and mobilizing power are utilized to help funnel and consolidates knowledge from outside and
Medyo nawawala ata yung signal mo.
In terms of knowledge, the UN is underappreciated regarding how its convening and mobilizing power are utilized to help funnel and consolidate knowledge from outside and ensure this discussion and dissemination among governments.
Okay, thank you. Kasi before, yung UN, lalo na nung hindi pa siya ganun kakilala, it is underappreciated in terms of its convening and mobilizing power. Kasi ina-under appreciated na siya in terms of knowledge. Number 2, princess.
The contrasting moral structures of social behavior in different member states complicate the formulation of a normative standard that can be applicable to all.
Kasi hindi naman lahat ng mga member countries pare-pareho yung mga beliefs, di ba? Mga cultures. Kaya in moral structures, nagkakaroon of moral structures of social behavior in different member states. Dito namumuo yung iba't ibang normative standard, mga problems din, di ba? Number 3, Mary Rose.
In formulating propositions, problems occur when only the member states are heard. The UN belittles the helping hand of non-governmental organizations and the global public opinion. Sometimes recommendations are not executed.
Okay, mamaya i-discuss ko yung Security Council veto. Meron yung mga ilang mga specific member countries na pwede silang mag-contradict, mag-refuse ng mga rules nila or resolutions, pwede nilang i-refuse. So dahil nga dinirinig yung ibang countries, 'di ba? Doon nagsisimula yung mga iba't ibang mga problems. Okay? Number 4, kindly read this. Jamaica.
Institution can also be a place where ideas are cornered and left behind. The modality and processes of enforcing compliance with international norms and laws are not present. In fact, some UN staff members violate, cheat, and challenge them.
Okay, yun. Hindi natin may iwasan yon. Lalo na in terms of economic, di ba? There is always a country that left behind. Later on, madidiscuss natin yung paano na-divide yung globe natin. Meron tayong tinatawag na Global North and Global South. Okay? Nabanggit ko kanina yung Security Council's veto. Okay? In Security Council's veto, power over resolution is one of the challenges that UN has been facing since organization foundation. For example, yung UN resolution in December 2017 that requires US President Donald Trump to withdraw the recognition of Jerusalem as the capital city of Israel was vetoed or yung na-refuse na pawalang visa by the US in the Security Council. Kasi sa Security Council's veto, yung pinaka-main members niya ay US, UK, France, Russia, and I forgot yung isa. Basta 5 yun eh. US, UK, France, Russia, and maalala ko rin siguro maya-maya. Okay, yun yung mga 5 pinaka-main countries or members ng United Nations. In effect, the resolution was not passed kasi nga na-veto siya ng United States. Some states refused to adopt resolution in statements, especially since the membership is on voluntary basis. Diba? Doon may ipapasok yung mga different challenges and problems ng UN. In terms of knowledge, norms, policy, institutions, and compliance. Hindi ako mapakali dun sa try ko ngang hanapin yung 5 members ng security veto. Wait for a while, ha? Security Council veto. Veto members. China, yun pala, China yung isa. China, France, Russia, United Kingdom or UK, and US. China yung isa. Okay, ngayon, madako naman tayo yung global or division of globe. Okay, the north and the south. Dito sa unit na ito, kasi meron tayong physical and imaginary division of the world in the age of globalization, because of globalization. Pero tumutukoy kaya ito sa boundaries or tumutukoy ba ito sa economic condition ng mga bansa? Madidiscuss natin ito. Historically, there had been divisions and labeling among the different nations of the world. Countries that were colonized by the Spaniards in the southeast part of America continent are collectively called Latin America. By virtue of the Treaty of Tordesillas in 1494, the newly discovered lands outside the Europe were divided into two. Ito yung before ha. The west belonging to Portuguese Empire. There is also a split based on labor. The core, semi-periphery, and the peripheries. Yung core, ito yung mga mayayamang mga bansa. Semi-periphery, ito yung mga capitalist countries. And peripheries, ito yung mga socialist. Okay? Alam niyo yung OFW? Magbigay muna tayo ng example. Diba? Yung OFW na lang natin halimbawa dito sa Pilipinas na nangingibang bansa. Saan sila pumupunta? Diba? Sa mayayamang mga bansa. Tapos, example lang ito, mamaya may a-apply natin ito. Diba yung mga OFW natin nangingibang bansa para kumita, makapag-ipon. Pero sad to say, kapag umuwi sila dito, yung kadalasan or karamihan nga sa kanila,